Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be discussing the 6 King-Ohgers and how I like them. I just thought this was appropriate because King-Ohger just ended a couple days ago, and one of the best parts of that is the cast. So today I'll be discussing and ranking all of the 6 King-Ohgers. So I'm going to start off with talking about Racules. He's technically not part of the main team, but I still think he's the best character in the entire season. He's the best villain, but also he's a good hero. He is the best evil ranger in all of Sentai just because he has a reason for being evil. You can see why he did what he did, but at the same time he did it for a noble cause, and also he isn't absolved of all the horrible things he did. Like by the end of the season he's still in prison, so I don't have a mind with him being good all along because he still had to pay for his crimes. Number 6 is Himeno Kamakiri-Ohger, and she's in last place just because I don't like her personality that much. I just think it's kind of boring. I feel like we've seen this type of character before, just in other media. But as a character, she's pretty good. Her connection to the Fury of the Gods is really interesting. She has a really great relationship with Rita. That's probably the best part of her personality. But other than that, she just isn't that interesting. She's in no means like a bad character. Like there's way worse than her. It's just that the King-Ohgers set a big bar to cross. Number 5 is Gira Kuwagata-Ohger, and if we're just going off the first chapter, he would easily be my least favorite character just because of how annoying he was. But in the second chapter, he's a lot more tolerable. I feel like I believe in him a lot more. He just has a lot of generic modern red stereotypes, like being an annoying twerp, and especially the Tiger King bit. It kind of makes sense in the first chapter, but in the second chapter not so much because he's an actual king now. But like when he doesn't do it all the time, I feel like it's fine, but just when he does it every single second, it gets so annoying. But I mean, as far as like that type of red goes, he's probably one of the best. You can actually see his humanity. Gira is at least somewhat believable. He's definitely way better in the second chapter. Like he has some interesting stuff with being an immortal, but it didn't really add up to too much. So yeah, he's just kind of like a generic modern red. Number 4 is Yama Tombo-Ohger, and I really like him. I like his arrogant personality. It just makes sense because he was from nothing and rose to become the king. I like his catchphrase calling everyone slackjawed tanuki. I like his relationship with all his retainers. And in the first chapter, I like his relationship with Gira too. I just really like him. He's an enjoyable character. He isn't perfect, which I really like. And I just like the different attitude he brings to the team. Number 3 is Jeremy Spider Kumanos, and I just absolutely love that we finally got a 6th Ranger that feels like an actual character for the first time since like Noel and Lupin Ranger versus Battle Ranger. Jeremy, I just like his personality. He's half Bugnarok. He's also the narrator of the season, which is also funny. I like his relationship with Gira in the second chapter. The one problem is that in the first chapter, he basically does nothing. Like outside of the 2 episodes where he's introduced, he really doesn't do anything, aside from the final 3 episodes of the first chapter. And then in the second chapter, he has a little bit more to do, but still doesn't have all too much. He has a good character moment in episode 29 where he sacrifices himself for the sake of the team, and it's a great moment. It's probably the best episode in the entire season. Just what sucks about it is that it's undone in 2 episodes, so that kind of hurts it a little bit, but it still doesn't take away on how good of a character moment that was. But I still love him. I love his personality. I like his relationship with the Bugnarok. Yeah, he's one of the best 6th Rangers, probably the best 6th Ranger in recent memory. Number 2 is Rita Papillon-Ohger, and they're just awesome. I love this type of character where I already love stoic characters, but Rita is also funny while also being a badass and serious, and that's a really good dynamic. Rita's relationship with Morphonia is the best king-retainer relationship in the entire series. They have a funny joke with Mafun. They just have a really unique personality. I'm glad they got substantial focus. They're just one of my favorite Rangers of all time. Number 1 is Kaguragi Hachi-Ohger, and honestly wasn't even close. Just ever since Kaguragi showed up, he was my favorite character from the spot. I love his flamboyant, over-the-top personality. I love that he's willing to do anything for the betterment of his nation. I guess the betrayal stuff kind of rang hollow because you knew he was probably never going to actually betray the team, but it was still pretty good. When Racules was still evil, it still worked. But yeah, I feel like the only problem with him is that he gets easily the least amount of focus out of any of the King-Ohgers. He gets 0 focus episodes in the first chapter, and in the second chapter he only gets 1, and then he has one with Rita, so he never really gets that much focus, and that's the only problem with him. But other than that, I just love his personality. It's so over the top. He's great. Easily my favorite Black Ranger, probably one of my favorite Rangers of all time. Thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate anyone who watches this. As far as future videos go, I don't really have anything planned in the foreseeable future, but I definitely have something planned for April Fool's Day. In between then, I might not post. I'm not sure. I'll do whenever. If I'm feeling it, I will, but I'm definitely have something planned for April Fool's Day, so look out for that when it comes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Sadly, King-Ohgers ended. Kind of excited for Boom Booger, not really though, but I just really loved King-Ohger. But yeah, thank you so much. Feedback is always appreciated. Have a great day.